So what's going on, New York Giants fans? OGR back with another New York Giants video. And in this video, we got to talk about Tiki and what he said about Saquon. But before I do, I need everybody to drop kick that like button. If you like what you're watching, please consider subscribing. And it'd be an absolute pleasure to have you a regular part of the channel. And with no further ado, let's get into it. So, me personally, I separate Tiki Barber into two people. Tiki Barber, the analyst, who's fucking shitty, and Tiki, the player, who's very good for the New York Giants and probably the best running back. Hopefully, Saquon supersedes him because I don't think Tiki's a very good person. Personally. I could be wrong. Now, before I rip into Tiki a little bit more and upset Tiki fans, understand this. Tiki is not wrong. But I also take what Tiki has to say with a grain of salt. Why? Because, yes, Saquon does need to improve at blocking. But let's face it, how relevant is Tiki? Not very. Not very at all. There's a reason when you watch him call a game on Fox, he's not in the booth calling it. He's not a very good TV personality. That's why he's on the field talking about what's going on with the players and the coaches and giving us a quick update on camera like Pam Oliver for 20 seconds, and then they're going to pan back to the booth. There's a reason why Rondé's up there and he's not. There's a reason why Tiki was let go by NBC after the 2010 season. Partially because he got embarrassed in 2007 after the Giants won the Super Bowl because we know what he had to say about Eli Manning. But Tiki should know that players can improve. He improved. You know, when Tiki was drafted, he was considered a third down back, and he was for his early majority of his Giants career. But then, in 2000 or 99, he became our lead back and began to show it. And it was great. But here's the problem. He fumbled in half his games, where he fumbled 9, 8, 9, 9, until Tom Coughlin took over, and we fixed that problem where he had 5, 1, and 3. So, it's not uncommon for a player to get better in his career, and I believe Saquon will get better. Now, I know a lot of this people want to feed on Tiki's comments, but again, Tiki's doing this part because he's right, but part because he wants to remain relevant. Nobody talks about Tiki Barber. Just saying. I love him as a player, but as an analyst, he does a little too much of this out his ass. Me personally. That's what I think. But I think Saquon will be fine. But I do want to talk about Daniel Jones and what Daniel Jones can do to make Saquon a little bit better. Also in this video, I did want to touch on Daniel Jones and how Daniel Jones can put Saquon in a better position to succeed. And what do I mean by that? Pre-snap reads. Now, I'm not the first Giants YouTuber to say this. Somebody said it earlier in the week. Me and that person don't get along very well, but at the end of the day, I will give credit where credit's due. He's not wrong. And there's one play in the Steelers game that I can come back to where Daniel Jones audibled either from a pass to a run or switched the side of a run in that audible. Either way, Daniel Jones was facing a 9-man box. He should know at that point to audible and fight another day. Audible and go to another play. Either audible to a pass, audible to a draw play, whatever it may be. But he's facing a 9-man box. Should have audible it up. And that's what I mean. And you can see it last year. Even though Saquon didn't have a bad game with the Green Bay Packers, the Giants got down in that game because of turnovers by Daniel Jones and yada, yada, yada. They abandoned the run. So Saquon's numbers weren't as good, but he didn't play bad in that game. But where did Saquon begin to hit his stride? A lot of people say, well, a lot of it was because of the injury, and they're not wrong. But at the end of the day, it's when Eli Manning came back against the Eagles and the Miami Dolphins, Saquon was Saquon again. Why? Because of the pre-snap reads. Eli is far and away better than Daniel Jones, as he should be. But Daniel Jones needs to get better, and he needs to put Saquon in a better place. So, he can audible in that run or audible out of that run and use Saquon as needed. Now, I can imagine, maybe because it's a new offensive system, they're not giving him full command? I don't know. Right now, it's just speculation by me. But, again, Daniel Jones if he has the ability to audible, which I imagine he does, needs to put Saquon in a better position. Just saying. Either way, guys, that's all I got for you today. I'll talk more about the Bears and the Giants tomorrow. I'm not doing a preview. If you guys have been watching me since last week, you know why. Because it's really nothing new to talk about in these previews. But I will talk a little bit about the Giants and the Bears tomorrow. Either way, guys, it's been OGR, and I'll catch you on the next video.